The young girl Ly Tieu Ca, at the age of 17, bore a responsibility that only adults should be able to carry. Still a girl in her teens, innocent and unaware of the hardships of life, Tieu Ca had to leave her hometown and marry a man in a faraway place with no family by her side. A tragic turn of events occurred when she gave birth, making her life even darker than before. Her husband was sent to prison, and her in-laws turned their backs on her, kicking her out of their home, leaving her to raise her child alone with no support. The days that followed were incredibly tough, with her meals consisting of nothing but instant noodles. But every time she looked at her little child, Tieu Ca found the strength to endure, to push through the difficulties with resilience. In order to survive, she went to the mountains to buy papayas from the villagers and sell them in the market. The sweet papayas were the only thing that eased her hunger, and she filled her stomach with the ripe fruit before continuing on her journey to sell them. A basket of papayas was picked, and with it, a fragile hope for the next day. One day, on her way back, Tieu Ca stumbled upon a heartbreaking sight: a baby abandoned in a box. She broke into tears when she read the note left by the baby's mother. The overwhelming sympathy filled her heart, unsure whether she felt sorrow for the abandoned child or for her own tragic fate and that of her little one. She decided to pick up the baby and search for its relatives, or at least a better home for it. Carrying her own child in one arm and the abandoned baby in the other, she went from house to house in the village, but no one was willing to adopt the baby. However, a miracle happened when she found a well-to-do house. There, a kind-hearted woman agreed to take the baby in, and they both cried as they read the letter the mother had left behind. With a compassionate heart, the woman decided to take the child in, and Tieu Ca reluctantly said goodbye, her heart heavy with emotion. Tieu Ca did not give up. She was determined to build a small house for herself and her child, a place where they could live in peace. She chose a plot of land near a stream and built a bamboo hut with her own hands to protect them from the sun and rain. Eventually, the house was finished, becoming a warm home where the two of them could start over. Life gradually stabilized, and Tieu Ca made good friends in the village who were always willing to help her in times of need. She raised chickens and ducks, grew vegetables, and still waited for the day her husband would return. However, one day, her mother-in-law from years ago came to find her, apologizing for the misunderstandings that had occurred. She had once believed that Tieu Ca was the reason her son went to prison, but now she realized that things were not as she had thought. At first, Tieu Ca found it hard to forgive, but when she saw the love and kindness the woman showed to little Han, she decided to forgive her. The two women had a long conversation, and in the end, they parted with promises to meet again, leaving Tieu Ca with a new hope for a better future. I hope you're all having an amazing day wherever you are. Today, let's hit pause on all the chaos, the struggles, and the ups and downs of Tieu Ca's journey. Instead, let's join her for a few moments of peace, laughter, and simple joy with her daughter and Hmong. Summer has officially arrived, and it's not playing around. The heat is absolutely relentless, the kind that makes everything feel like it's melting. So what does Tieu Ca do? Like any clever and resourceful woman, she's out on a mission to find something cool and refreshing to beat the heat. Not just for herself, but to share it with others at the local market. She's not just thinking about relief, she's thinking about community. Even in the sweltering sun, she's bringing energy, warmth, the good kind, and a smile to those around her. This episode is all about those small, meaningful moments, the kind that make you smile without even realizing it. Whether it's the laughter of her daughter, a quiet moment with Hmong, or the joy of discovering something new to sell, it's a gentle reminder that even on the hottest, most exhausting days, there's still something sweet to be found. So grab a cold drink, get comfy, and let's spend some time with Tieu Ca. You might just walk away feeling a little more refreshed yourself. The summer heat was brutal, the kind that makes the air feel heavy, like it's pressing down on everything around you. It was one of those days when the sun didn't just shine, it scorched. But instead of hiding from the heat, Tieu Ca had a plan. She knew that on days like this, people crave something cool, juicy, and refreshing. So she set out to find just that. Her destination? The watermelon fields. Rows and rows of sun-soaked green vines, hiding the sweet promise of summer inside. As she made her way through the fields, she searched for the ripest, most fragrant melons, ones with the perfect balance of sweetness and hydration. And when she finally picked one, she couldn't resist. She sat right there on the edge of the field, sliced it open, and took a bite. The flavor exploded in her mouth, light, sweet, crisp, and incredibly juicy. Every bite was like a splash of cool water in this burning heat. For a moment, it felt like summer wasn't a punishment, but a celebration. And in that quiet moment of delicious relief, an idea sparked. These would sell like crazy at the market, she thought. Without wasting another second, Tieu Ca sprang into action. She began carefully selecting the best melons, moving from one row to another, eyes scanning for quality, hands working quickly. Before long, she had a full basket, heavy with the weight of summer's bounty and full of promise. With the basket hoisted into her cart, she began her journey toward the local market. The road wasn't easy. Dust rose in the heat. Her clothes clung to her skin, but Tieu Ca kept going. Because she wasn't just selling fruit, she was bringing joy, relief, a little taste of cool happiness to a sweltering day. There's something beautiful about simple work done with purpose, something timeless about a woman, a field, and the effort to share something fresh with her community. So as she made her way to the market, bumping along back roads with her basket of watermelons, she wasn't just carrying produce. She was carrying care, intention, and a bit of sunshine packed in every slice. After a long, hot morning in the watermelon fields, Tieu Ca finally arrived at the market. The moment she stepped in, the sweet, fragrant scent of ripe melons drifted through the air, catching people's attention like a magnet. One by one, curious shoppers made their way over, drawn in by the aroma and the sight of fresh, glistening fruit. It didn't take long before her little stall was surrounded. People smiled as they tasted her juicy, sun-kissed melons, some buying one, others leaving with 2 or 3. Within no time, her entire harvest was gone. Every last watermelon had found a home. Feeling satisfied and just a little tired, Tieu Ca packed up her things and began the walk back home. The sun was still strong, but there was something peaceful about the quiet road and the sense of a good day's work behind her. She hummed a soft tune, her footsteps light, her heart lighter. And then, just ahead, she saw him. There, at the familiar fork in the road that led toward her home, stood Hmong. He was leaning casually against a tree, scanning the path as if waiting for someone. As soon as their eyes met, a smile lit up both their faces, instinctive, effortless, the kind of smile that needs no explanation. "You're back from the market already," Hmong called out with a grin. "I was hoping I'd run into you. Honestly, I wasn't sure you'd be there today." Tieu Ca laughed. "Were you waiting here for me?" He nodded. "Yeah, I finished work early and figured I'd stop by. They're pouring the foundation for the new house today. I wanted to take you up there to see it." She blinked, surprised. "I had no idea. I would have come right away if I'd known, but I was out harvesting melons all morning. Thought they'd sell fast in this heat." "They did?" he asked with a playful glance at her empty cart. "All gone," she said proudly. "Sold out before noon." They shared a soft chuckle, the kind that comes easy when things feel just right. With the cart now light and the sun beginning its slow descent, the two of them walked side by side up the path toward the new house. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, from the day's little victories to dreams of what that house would one day become. There was something magical about the simplicity of it all. No grand gestures, no dramatic twists, just two people walking together, soaking in a shared moment of happiness. It was in the way she glanced at him when he spoke, in the way he looked at her with a quiet kind of admiration. This wasn't just a house being built with bricks and cement. It was something more. Memories in the making, stories waiting to be lived, and today was one of them. Sometimes joy comes in the smallest, most unexpected ways. A smile at a crossroads, a shared walk up a dusty road, the promise of a future beginning to take shape. And in that golden summer light, with the laughter of the market still lingering and the scent of watermelon still fresh in her mind, Tieu Ca knew this was exactly where she was meant to be. After walking through the new home and checking on the progress, Hmong turned to Tieu Ca with a gentle smile and an idea. "Let's go pick up little Han from Grandma's," he said, glancing at the sun overhead. "It's way too hot today, and I've got a place in mind where the three of us can cool off for a bit." Tieu Ca nodded with a soft smile. "Sounds perfect. Let's go." They headed off together, and not long after they arrived to pick up little Han. The moment the little girl saw them, her face lit up with excitement, arms stretched wide, ready to go on whatever adventure her parents had planned. An adventure it was. Instead of heading straight home, Hmong took a turn down a quiet road, eventually stopping at a hidden gem, a peaceful, crystal-clear stream tucked away just outside of town. The water sparkled under the summer sun, shaded by tall trees and surrounded by soft, cool grass. It was calm, shallow, and perfect for a little family escape. "I thought this would be the perfect spot for you two to relax," Hmong said as he helped Tieu Ca down from the bike. The stream wasn't deep, just enough for little Han to splash around safely, giggling as the cool water danced over her fingers and toes. Tieu Ca rolled up her pants, stepped in, and let out a small sigh of relief as the chill of the water soothed her tired feet. Soon, all three of them were laughing, playing, and splashing together. The heat of the day faded away as they soaked in the moment, literally and emotionally. For a while, there were no worries, no stress, just the sound of water, the laughter of a child, and the quiet joy of being together. Hung scooped Han into his arms, twirling her gently through the stream, her laughter echoing like music. Tieu Ca watched them with a soft smile, feeling her heart grow lighter with every moment that passed. Then she joined in, splashing water at them, and the peaceful stream turned into a playground of joy and connection. It wasn't just about escaping the heat. It was about escaping the weight of daily life, the long days, the hard work, the silent worries. In that little slice of nature, surrounded by love and laughter, they were free. Just a family, enjoying each other's presence, finding beauty in the simplicity of being together. Sometimes the best kind of healing doesn't come from words or plans. It comes from moments like these. A cool stream, a happy child, a quiet laugh between two people who've been through enough to know how precious peace can be. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting golden light through the trees, they sat at the edge of the stream, soaked and smiling. It was more than a break from the heat. It was a reminder that no matter how exhausting life gets, love and a little water can wash some of it away. As the afternoon light softened and the sound of the water began to quiet, the three of them sat together on a smooth rock by the edge of the stream. Han leaned against her mom, eyes heavy from all the fun, while Hung gently brushed her damp hair away from her face. No one said much. They didn't need to. The silence wasn't empty, it was full of love, of shared laughter, of the kind of peace that only comes when you're exactly where you're meant to be. Tieu Ca looked over at Hung and smiled, a soft, knowing smile that said everything her heart was feeling. Gratitude, comfort, hope. They may not have had everything figured out, the house still needed walls, the days ahead would still be long, but in that moment, they had each other, and that was more than enough. As they packed up to head home, the sky painted itself in hues of orange and gold. The sun was setting, but something deeper had risen within them, a quiet joy, a shared strength, and the gentle reminder that the best parts of life often come in the simplest moments. And so they left the stream, still damp from play, still glowing from love, ready to take on tomorrow together.
Giữa trưa hè, cái nắng như thiêu đốt đổ xuống khắp cánh đồng, không khí oi nồng, mọi vật dường như trở nên chậm chạp mệt mỏi. Nhưng ở một góc làng nhỏ, Tieu Ca vẫn đang âm thầm bước đi, đôi chân thon thót trên con đường đất đỏ, ánh mắt đầy quyết tâm. Hôm nay cô lại dong ruổi đi tìm một thứ gì đó thật mát lành, không chỉ cho riêng mình mà còn để mang ra chợ bán, kiếm thêm chút thu nhập. Sau một hồi lặn lội, Tieu Ca dừng chân dưới cánh đồng dưa, một vùng đất trải dài xanh ngắt, nơi những quả dưa tròn mẩy nằm rải rác dưới tán lá râm mát. Như bị cuốn hút, cô bước vào từng luống dưa, nhẹ nhàng dùng dao cắt lấy một quả lớn, ngồi bệt xuống bờ ruộng. Giữa hương đồng gió nổi, cô gọt vỏ cắn một miếng đầu tiên. Lập tức hương vị thanh mát thấm vào đầu lưỡi, nước dưa mát rượi chảy tràn xuống cổ họng, như cuốn trôi đi cái nóng, cái mệt, những cái oi ả lo âu trong lòng. Một cảm giác thư giãn, dễ chịu lan tỏa. Cô bật cười nhẹ, không phải vì vui mà vì cảm thấy biết ơn một khoảnh khắc bình yên hiếm hoi trong cuộc sống đầy bộn bề. Tieu Ca ngẩng lên, nhìn cánh đồng xanh ngát trước mặt. Dưa ngon thế này đem ra chợ bán chắc sẽ đắt hàng lắm. Cô thầm nghĩ, ánh mắt rực sáng lên như ngọn lửa. Không chần chừ, cô bắt đầu thu hoạch từng quả